Hello everyone. Alright, just a quick first update here. So I have assembled the cockpit. So basically what I've done is just gone through here the first step that you see here. So all the parts, they fit really beautiful, nice together, no fit problems whatsoever. So just a couple things to point out here in the instructions. I mean, the only color coils have is interior green and flat back. Obviously you can paint this any way you would like, or just refer to your any reference material you might have online or books and so forth, to show you how I did this. So this is not attached yet. Let me show you a little closer up here so you can see this a little better and focus. So there's my interior cockpit. That is the decal, which with some solution just fit nicely there in all the recesses. Add a little bit of color here on the yoke stick, a little red, and the buttons. Same thing with the buttons here on the side, just highlight them a little bit just so you have some contrast here. You can see that there. The instructions don't say to paint the boxes here black, just this black and that black. But if you look at any online resources, you'll see that all these boxes that stick out are usually black, and then the interior is green. They reference interior green. I just mixed up my own green using some Vallejo paints and paint this. All this is brush painted, by the way. The fit is great. Even putting the cockpit in here, it's got this little notch here, so you have a good positive place to attach it. Same thing here. The fit here down here is great. The bottom of the cockpit and the back wall form the top and back wall for the front wheel well, as you see there. Oh, and these lights, the instructions here call to put in this part here, D3 here in the bottom. I may not be clear in the instructions, but what they mean here, these arrows actually pointing to the 3 holes which are in the middle of the gondola here, not to this area here. So just to clarify that. The way I did these lights, I don't know why they come out here on the camera, better. What I did is I have these transparent Cretex paint. See there? And then using the colors, I just painted the plastic, just put a little drop, orange, green, and red. And then once that dried, I put a little bit of Vallejo silver on the back of it to give it some reflectivity. And then I glue this in here using some white glue. This way I get the effect of the lights with our actual glass. What I'm going to do is put a I'm going to put a little drop of clear each one of these, let that dry, and then I'm going to use some of that Microsol masking solution to mask off the lights, so when I do the painting I don't ruin the plastic. Okay, so far it's a really easy build. I mean, this is part 1. I also painted the back here, the radio, and a little bit of weathering. So now my next step is just to glue top and bottom together, take care of any seam issues, and then proceed with the build. Oh, one other thing, you know, P-51s, as you may know, they're very tail heavy, but luckily there's plenty of spaces on this kit to put weights. You can put weights here in front of the engine nacelles. You got space here in the front of the cockpit to put weights in there, and you have spots here behind the cockpit to also put weights. So plenty of options. Alright, be back with the next little quick update. Thank you. Hello, just real quick, so I cemented both halves, and this is probably the only area so far that I see that really needs work on the kit. The 2 halves are top and bottom. You're going to have a seam along where they do join. I mean, it's a good seam. I mean, there's no gaps, but you still going to have a seam that you're going to have to clean up. Let me see if the camera can pick this up. So here's one side. You can probably see the seam here. It runs all the way along where the 2 edges. It's probably the most noticeable there in the nose, and here along the boom. Probably looks worse on camera than it is in real life. I mean, it's not like there's a big step or gaps. It's just a seam, since you got 2 pieces of plastic meeting up, and you got some of the glue here oozing out when you glue them together. But it's no problem. A few minutes of work with a little sanding, a little buffing, no filler needed. You can get and smooth out these edges. See if you can see this here. So this is the left side of the plane where I started smoothing out. As you can see, this line pretty much here disappears, and very light there. I just got to work a little bit more on it. Same thing over here on the boom. Started working on getting that seam out. So so far that's really the only hard part, or requiring some effort on it. All right, be back. Thanks. Hello everyone. Right, I'm back. All right, so I finished the major assembling, and as you see, I already started putting down the main paint coat for the plane. So I primed everything in black, and then I did silver. This is the Vallejo silver that I actually used for the plane. Let this dry, then I'll go back and do some masking and paint some of the details in, such as the anti-glare plates, panels over here, and then do overall varnish and start decaling. And same thing with smaller parts. I'll go ahead and paint the other pieces. You can see here I got still the bombs here primed, but I haven't painted them yet. So I'll do that next. Alright, so progress. Like I said, it's easy build, so those pretty fast. Just to show you here where the seam, where you have the seam here for the two halves. I think I did a decent job of trying to cover that up. You can see it well here. I could have done a little bit better of the job. You can see here in the nose. So hard to tell where the seam was. So, alright, right, be back. Hello, I'm back. Alright, so I painted some more details here. Put in the anti-glare panels on either side of the engines and on the front. The painting guide of the actual kit doesn't indicate anything about painting the anti-glare panels for the two inboard of the nacelles here, but every single image I've ever seen of a P-38 in natural metal has these panels there, so I painted them, masked them, and painted them. Lots of masking, as you can see here on my tape here. I should have done it backwards. I should have painted the black first, and any other little areas, mask them off, because that would have been a smaller area to mask off, and then painted on the main color of the plane. But oh well, live and learn. I just gotta remember to do that next time. So I'm in the process of painting some other little tidbits. Like here, you got the spinner. I painted the red on, let that dry, put another coat on, and then I'll mask off the red. Then I'll retouch up the metal tip here. Same thing with the bombs. I painted this the metal part, and I'll mask that off and paint the green. The door covers for the wheel wells to the gear. The green on the inside and the metallic on the outside. Again, the kit here calls for chromate green for the wheel wells, the interior. Reading a line, sounds like they were natural metal or they were painted gray or some lighter shade of like that. I decided to go with the green, if no other reason, just to give it some color contrast, add some more color to the kit. The wheels went together fine. These are two halves. There were those little poly caps in the middle, inside, which is holding it to the actual strut here. And again, fit is perfect. Just a little light sanding along the edges, and then just touching up the paint along the edges here. So no problem there. And the props I haven't painted black. And now I'll go back, mask, and paint the tips. Or maybe I'll use the decals to see how they look. And then I'll trim off from that. The reason I got these still on the sprue, just because it makes it easier to handle while I'm working with them. And then I'll trim them off. The good thing about this kit also, the way it's manufactured, the sprue gates are right, I don't know how you can see this, are flush with the mating surface of the part. So when you trim them off, you can just sand this area down and not have to worry about gouging or damaging the actual part that will show in the kit. Alright, so right now I'm going to finish up the little details, and I'll give all this an overall gloss varnish. Let it dry overnight, a couple of days, and get back to it during the week when I have time. Alright, thank you all for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying this build and you guys enjoying your builds. Alright, have a good day. Bye bye.